Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Lakers are a strong team and the fans demand a lot from their players. And not every game suits the Lakers and they end up leaving for another team. The Lakers have had a clear problem at center since Anthony Davis left. Coach JJ bet on Alex Len and the player didn't perform and is out of the rotation. The other center, Jackson Hayes, is alternating between good and bad games, but he has yet to earn the trust of coach Redick. Jackson Hayes knows he has some value in the league and can get a better salary in free agency. The other factor that is bothering Jackson Hayes is that coach Redick has been giving him few minutes and the Lakers are left without a center on the court. Given these facts, Jackson Hayes has already decided that he will not stay with the Lakers because he wants to earn a higher salary elsewhere and also because coach Redick has given him few minutes and this has bothered him. LeBron James expects Lakers to be more ready for Timberwolves' physicality in Game 2. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James knows his career is reaching the back end, which is why he stressed that he doesn't take the playoffs for granted. James has won 4 championships in his career and this year might be his best and final shot at another ring as he's got a strong roster and a co-star in Luka Doncic to help him get through the postseason. Standing in his way for a 5th championship is the Minnesota Timberwolves, who took Game 1 behind a strong two-way performance. The Lakers started Game 1 on a high note as they took an early lead behind a scoring flurry from Doncic, though things quickly spiraled in the second quarter as Minnesota was able to get out in transition and hit nearly every three-pointer they took to take a huge double-digit lead. Although the Lakers were able to chip away at the deficit late in the third quarter, the Timberwolves responded with another run in the fourth quarter to seal their victory. James understands that defense wins championships, so it wasn't a surprise to hear him say he and the team need to better in several areas. Obviously we gotta do a better job controlling the controllables, and I don't think we did a good enough job after the first quarter, he said. They blitzed us in that second quarter 38-20. But giving up 21 threes, giving up 20-plus fast break points, second chance points, those are some of the things that we can control. Obviously, the three-point shooting. We know they have a lot of lasers. They have a lot of guys that can shoot from the perimeter. So, we gotta do a better job of closing the bodies, getting out on shooters. We'll get back in the film room tomorrow, look at the things that we did well, some of the things that we didn't do so well and continue to game plan for Game 2. We got a couple days to prep for that. James also made a note of the Timberwolves' physicality on both ends of the floor, though he added that he thinks the Lakers will be more prepared for it in Game 2. When you play the Minnesota team, you got to be physical. That's what they bring to the table, James said. So maybe it took us one playoff game to now get a feel for the type of intensity, the type of physicality that's going to be brought to the game, but that's just the way they play. So we should be more than prepared for that on Tuesday night. Minnesota relishes the physicality of the game and they made sure to make Los Angeles feel their presence on every possession. There were several points throughout Game 1 where the Lakers didn't handle the ball pressure well and that led to multiple easy baskets for the Timberwolves. With Game 1 behind them, James and company have a chance to regroup and find ways to get better ahead of Game 2. While the purple and gold are far from out of it, they have a lot of work to do to even up the series. A simple stat from Lakers' loss to Timberwolves shows how Redick continues to mismanage Dalton Connect. The Los Angeles Lakers got handled in a decisive manner in their opening game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, getting routed 117-95 on Saturday night at the Crypto.com Arena. Minnesota cruised to a 59-48 halftime lead and pushed it to a commanding 22-point advantage less than 2 minutes into the second half. The Lakers couldn't find a way to keep up with the torrid scoring pace of the Timberwolves, and no comeback was coming with the Wolves up 88-61 late in the third. The usual suspects for the Lakers did their part. Luka Doncic and LeBron James combined for 20-40 shooting and 56 points. Austin Reeves put up some window dressing in the second half with the game well in doubt. But the rest of the roster did little, and that includes 3 players off the bench not named Dalton Connect. Dorian Finney-Smith, 33 minutes, Gabe Vincent, 25, and Jared Vanderbilt, 14, all logged significant minutes off the bench for LA last night. None scored more than 3 points. They combined to shoot 3-11 for the game. Inserted in the game's final minutes, Connect managed to score 5 points on 2 of 4 shooting with 3 rebounds. No, the former Tennessee Vols' absence is not why the Lakers lost, obviously. But that simple stat differential is a microcosm of the confusing situation that continues to unfold over the last month regarding Connect's usage, or lack thereof. His minutes have dwindled going back to March 20th. Since then, he's logged double-digit minutes in just 4 of 12 games to close the regular season. He earned the start in the regular season finale with the Lakers resting most of their starters. Across 37 minutes, he scored a game-high 27 points in LA's 109-81 loss to Portland. In the playoffs, sometimes you need someone who can provide a spark on offense. Connect can do that. That's why he was drafted, to put the ball in the basket. And as far as defense, well, when you have a -26 and -25 point differentials for 2 of your starters, like Rui Hachimura and Reeves, respectively, had on Saturday night, it kind of taints that argument that Connect's defense is what is, or should be, keeping him off the court. Bottom line, it's time for Redick to take the shrink wrap off one of his young talents and give him the chance to help his team up their total on the scoreboard a few more ticks. Lakers' regret in pulling a fast one on Hornets continues to grow. The Charlotte Hornets have a Mark Williams dilemma only because the Los Angeles Lakers decided to abort the trade deadline deal that would have seen the center help the purple and gold try to contend for the championship. However, its medical team failed his physicals due to concerns about his medical history. Williams clapped back at that notion recently, saying that he didn't miss a game this season because of knee or back injuries, which are presumably what the Lakers identified as grounds to back out of the trade. He also stated in his exit interview that he is in a good place now. It's unclear what the Hornets will do in the summer. Williams may have been mentioned as part of their core 4, but there is still the possibility of the organization attempting to move on from him again if the right deal comes along. As for the Lakers, it remains to be seen how much the non-acquisition of Williams would impact them. They managed to thrive during the regular season, clinching the number 3 seed in the Western Conference. However, their loss in the series opener to the Minnesota Timberwolves showed why changing their minds after agreeing to a trade with Charlotte could cost them a deep playoff run. Lakers clearly have a hole at the big man position. Los Angeles's decision to reverse its trade with the Hornets left it no more time to seek another center because the trade deadline had already passed. As such, it has had to rely on Jackson Hayes to man the paint and on small ball lineups to hide its lack of big man depth. But while that may do the trick in the regular season, the playoffs can be a different beast. The fact that the Lake Show drew the Wolves in the first round may have exposed its glaring weakness even more. Without someone like Williams to play the 5, Los Angeles became the only team so far to lose at home in the playoffs. The Lakers didn't have an answer for Minnesota's platoon of big men, including Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, and Naz Reid. Some might say that any opponent would be bound to lose with the T-Wolves shooting 21-42 from three-point range. However, LeBron James and company also had to deal with a major disadvantage in the paint and rebounding department. The Laker who hauled in the most boards was Luka Doncic, who had 8. Hayes saw just 8 minutes of action, grabbing 3 rebounds, which were the same number of boards the almost Hornet Dalton Connect recorded in 5 fewer minutes. If the Lakers had Williams, they wouldn't have had to rely on small ball, which the Wolves were actually able to exploit, and could have won the battle of the boards. Of course, there's still time for Los Angeles to regroup, but one can't help but wonder if it would have been better off not screwing up the Hornets at the trade deadline and instead pushing through with its decision to acquire Williams. Jared Vanderbilt feels Game 1 loss to Timberwolves was wake-up call for Lakers. The theme coming out of the Los Angeles Lakers' Game 1 loss was their lack of physicality as the Minnesota Timberwolves came out and punched them in the mouth. LA had a 7-point lead at the end of the first quarter but were outscored by 29 the rest of the way in what was a disappointing effort to kick off the 2025 postseason. After the game, Jared Vanderbilt talked about what the Lakers need to do better in Game 2 to get back in the series. "I think we gotta be the aggressor," he said. "I feel like they hit us first and they were the more physical team for a majority of the game. We tried to pick it up late in the second half and through the fourth, but when you're facing that deficit, it's kind of hard to overcome. I think just having that physicality to start the game and just being the aggressor early on." Vanderbilt added that the Timberwolves were the hungrier team and did all of the little things that the Lakers didn't. "It's the playoffs, we gotta have a greater sense of urgency to start the game and throughout the whole game," Vanderbilt added. "We gotta play all 48, especially against a team like that. They're scrappy, they're physical, they pick up full court. We just gotta match that physicality." Ultimately though, it was just one game. The series is not over and Vanderbilt knows the Lakers have been in a similar position before. "Yeah, I feel like we've been dealing with adversity all year," Vanderbilt said. "Obviously we haven't played in a week, so I think it was good to just get back out there today. It's the playoffs, we're gonna have some adversity. Don't get too high, don't get too low about this game. Our confidence is still as high as ever with this series right now. That was just a wake-up call, make some adjustments and get ready for Game 2. Jared Vanderbilt discusses what Lakers did well. The Lakers were able to make one run in the third quarter and Jared Vanderbilt was part of the group that made it happen. He discussed what went right for them and the need to do more of it moving forward. "Just toughness. I think it's the playoffs, man. We gotta play hard," Vanderbilt admitted. "I think they were beating us to all the 50-50 balls, offensive rebounds, loose balls, everything. I think they were just winning that battle and in the playoffs, the tougher team that wins that battle usually wins the game. Those big plays we were giving up ignited it early on, myself included in that first half. I feel like third quarter we tried to turn it up, but sometimes it's too late to try to overcome that deficit. Just starting the game with that mindset, being tough, being physical." J.J. Redick speaks out on what doomed Lakers in Game 1. J.J. Redick was in a somber mood following the Los Angeles Lakers' Game 1 stinker against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Redick's Lakers were hot to start their first-round series against the T-Wolves at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California. The purple and gold lead took a 28-21 advantage into the second quarter. But Minnesota punched back with a 14-2 run to start the second quarter. The Timberwolves outmuscled the Lakers the rest of the way, leading by as many as 27 points in their 117-95 Game 1 triumph. During his post-game press conference, Redick was asked about what led to the Lakers unraveling in the second and third quarters. "We were mentally ready. I'm not sure, physically, we were ready," admitted Redick. "When they started to play with a lot of thrust and physicality, we just didn't respond immediately to that." The Timberwolves successfully exploited the Lakers' lack of size in the interior. Los Angeles played starting center Jackson Hayes just 8 minutes, as Redick primarily deployed small ball units with Dorian Finney-Smith as the team's de facto center. The Timberwolves' size and willingness to get physical paid off immensely on the defensive end. The Lakers shot below 40% from the field as nobody outside of Luka Doncic could get it going offensively. Minnesota repeatedly turned defense into offense in its 22-point victory. The T-Wolves had 19 more fast break points than the Lakers and also drained a franchise record 21 three-pointers. Redick could have probably benefited from having a bruising 7-foot center in the Lakers lineup, just like the one Los Angeles nearly acquired at the February trade deadline.